welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. In today's video, we have another episode of What It Takes. We're talking to Christine and Miss Gwen. They are business partners, health insurance agency owners. They primarily do Medicare. I'm super excited for this interview, guys. They're giving a lot of nuggets. Pay attention. They're going to tell you how they run their business all year round. Stay to the end because we're also going to do an office tour as well. So keep watching. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of What It Takes. Today I have these lovely ladies here, agency owners, Christine and Gwen. All right, ladies, let's get started.
Awesome.
Okay, what's your story?
We're the Medicare mamas.
Medicare mamas, I love it.
So that's the short version.
Okay, give me more of an extended version. How did you guys meet?
Well,
Talk to the camera.
I started Medicare at 54, so that's been about 12 years ago. No, 14 years ago.
Wow.
And started organically and solo and was very successful for several years. And 2020, my son, my baby son, who was a paramedic, was getting married to Charlotte, Christine's daughter. She was a nurse. And so Colton said, Mom, I think I might want to join you, but I've got to be able to help people. And by the way, my new mother-in-law might want to join us because she's looking for a new career.
Mother-in-law is here.
Yes. So they both observed me doing a consultation, and they were both just blown away with the resources that we could offer, and had no idea, I think, out in the field. I'll let Christine tell, but basically we began working together, and really having 3 medical people in the office just blew up our business.
Wow.
And, so now we have 7 people in the office 4 years later, and Christine is kind of a unicorn. I don't believe anybody has probably wrote as much as she has in her first couple of years. She was able to connect the dots very quickly. So a lot of our friends and family in the business call us the Medicare mamas. That is not the name of our business, but when we do seminars and all, we do talk like that. And we tell the joke that Colton every day gets to come to work with the 4 most important women in his life, and he's a lucky guy.
I love it. And Christine, our background is similar.
Yes.
You're a registered nurse as well.
Yes, been a registered nurse since 1995. I did a lot of work in long-term care, surgery, home care, and then my last job was at the VA in 2019, which was just a good experience as far as like how government programs work, and has been very beneficial in this, but just wasn't something I didn't like the system. I really liked the private sector a lot better, and my daughter was getting married to Gwen's son, and my son was graduating high school, and I said, you know what? I don't think this VA thing's for me. So I quit end of 2019. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Because nurses, we find jobs like
everywhere. You can get a job anywhere as a nurse. And so Gwen called me early January of 2020. She's like, what are you going to do next? I was like, I don't know. The kids are getting married and I just don't know what I'm going to do. But I knew for sure, I was like, the Lord wanted me out of that job. So we joined, and Colton and I, we kind of, he's my Medicare buddy, so which is very cool because I was mother-in-law, but we got our license the same day. We went masked up to this little center out in the woods that was still letting people test because it was COVID. It was like April of 2020. So we're in the height of this COVID pandemic. So we got our license, and then we just sat right on, Gwen's side and did a lot of learning. And I guess it was July 31st, 2020, I wrote my first plan. Supplement. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, oh my gosh. But from there, I just dove head into the dual market. The dual market was blowing up that year with these new food cards and benefit cards and all. So it was just a great year, and having a mentor. So Gwen was our mentor, and then Colton and I, we were like, well, if you can do that, then you can do this. If you can do that, then you can do this. And Gwen was like, oh my goodness, I've never thought about that. And so we literally would just sit around and we would make a plan. Like, we've got to do this. This is a great way to get leads, because all of our leads here are referral based. They're organic. You know, we go into the community, we partner, and then we reverse engineer. That is what we say.
What do you mean by reverse engineer?
So we take a benefit on a plan and we figure out how to connect a Medicare member to that benefit. So let's take dental benefits. That's one that's just driven us crazy in this business. So dental benefits, who would you go see if they're in network? So you'd make a list of all the dentists. It's easy to find on a carrier site. And then you go find the dentist and you're like, hey, are you seeing these people that have this plan? Do you know about this benefit? And they go, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, we'll type this in and all this will come up. And then you can connect with members, so you can ask them when they walk in the door, you know, hey, do you have any Medicare benefits that have dental? And they don't know anything about it. And so all of a sudden you've made a referral center, because then they're going to say, oh, they're going to ask every Medicare member, and here's their card and they're down the street if you need dental benefits. So what ends up happening is they call our office supposedly for more dental benefits, but we also get to review their Medicare. And it's an inbound call. You don't have that 24 to 48 hour scope of appointment rule. And all of a sudden, and then we say, now could you send us, 3 of your friends, and we'll do the same thing for them. So we've reverse engineered dental benefits to get them calling our office. And so we do that.
So our mission statement says that we exist to make Medicare easy by educating, empowering, and serving our clients and our community. So we want everyone to win. So when we're working with doctors and referral centers, we tell them, we want you to win as well as our client to win. And if y'all both win, we win. And so that's part of it, is educating the doctors, educating the community, educating the clients, our members. And in doing that, we want to always add value. And that is key. That's what we say in here all the time. We want to add value so that when someone leaves our office, they are made more whole than whenever they walked in.
Wow, I love that.
And that's true for the doctors as well. So it may be something as simple as a protective cover for the Medicare card. I mean, that's adding value.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't, who would have known that they love those little protectors? It might be something as simple as the calendar that she was showing, or helping someone pick out their OTC benefits. But we want to add value. We want to bring enough that they're going to not only keep us as their consultants, but they're going to share our name several times.
I love that. So no leads at all. So you don't purchase any leads. How is that possible? Let us know, because a lot of agents are like, I'm broke. I don't have any money to buy leads.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really
getting.
So I always tell agents, it's either you do your time, you put in the time, or you put in your wallet.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that when I started on my own LOA, working a captive business, and I went through their book of business and scrubbed through and got all of their retirees off of the group insurance. So when I left them after 2 years, I had an advisor tell me, he says, Gwen, you have 200 clients that you cannot touch, but you can go ask them for a referral, and you have now 200 new people. So I would tell a beginner that you should look at your circle of influence, whether that be your family, your church, your community, your bowling league, wherever, and just ask people if you can practice on them. Ask them, can I do a review for you, just to see if I can benefit you or help you in any way. And whether you may have a lot of dry runs, you may make some mistakes, but you'll get practice. And even if you cannot change their plan or improve upon what they have, they will refer you now to whenever they're talking, because being a senior, I can tell you that there's 2 things that we all talk about: grandchildren and ailments and Medicare and our health insurance. Those are the things that we're always talking about. So you can rest assured that your senior family members and all, they're talking about their bills and their doctor visits and their insurance, and your name will come up. And I think one of the things that I remember was that I had helped a retired school teacher who happened to meet every month with all of her retiree school teachers. and they passed my cards out. I probably wrote 25 to 30 people off of that one graduating class.
Oh, wow.
So that's just how, but again, it's offering that value and being genuine, being genuine. So
I got it.
For sure. And answer your phone. I mean, that's a big one. Answer your phone. But I started out, Gwen was like, well, these are my referral centers. Don't touch those, but you go get your own. So I literally made a list of doctor's offices like 50 miles away even that had no one helping them, because we're in a rural area here. I mean, yes, we have big cities, but they're 60, 80, 90 miles away. So I just made a list and I started calling. I said, hey, can I talk to your office manager? Who is helping to build your Medicare business and to help you with clients that come in, patients that come in, and they don't have any help, or their medication costs are too high. Who do you work with? Surely you work with someone, right? So you make that like a standard. Yeah, the standard is you work with a Medicare agent. So you kind of set that expectation. And then you'll get it's a numbers game. You're going to get somebody to bite on that. And then you go and you visit and you take them, oh gosh. Gwen was like, go to the dollar store and buy those little jars and buy the mints that go in them, and it's cost you $2. And I literally took double-sided tape and business cards, and you just tape it on there and you set it. Can I set this here on your, either on the front counter or whatever. Take permission to contact forms, all those things that you're going to need to get those referrals. And what you will find is a lot of the people that are in these offices, not usually the people working right at the front desk, but the people that know what they're doing in the back, they're either on Medicare or they are confused about Medicare. And when you can add that clarity, then they start referring their patients to you. And then those patients will, send you their friends and this, that, and the other. So we always say that we write a lot of business by the business we don't write. So if you send me someone, I'm not going to just change their plan to make them mine. I'm going to make sure, that they're on the right plan and will do the right thing by them. And then that referral center knows that I'm not just flipping business, but that I'm really in this just legitimately for the good of everyone. And so not all doctor's offices get it. Sometimes you get Brittany. That's at the front counter. That's what we always say. Brittany doesn't get it. You've got to get past the gatekeeper. Sorry for all you Brittany's out there. It's not pejorative. But you know what I'm talking about. It's like, I'm here to build your business. I'm running a business. You're running a business. Let's run a business together, because it doesn't cost you anything, and it could be costing you a lot of money to not have the right Medicare plans walking through your door. Here's the best one we see. This is crazy. So AEP rolls along. These doctor's offices know it's coming, right? January 4th or whatever, when they finally open their doors again. So people come in and they've got their new card, and it doesn't have Dr. Jones on there. And I say to them, I'm like, Brittany, what do you do when someone walks into your office and they are on the wrong plan for what you're contracted for? And what do they say?
We tell them they have to find another doctor, and we have to wait until the end of the year
Oh,
when they change
wow.
plans.
Every single time. Every single time I have talked to a doctor's office, they say the exact same thing. They say, well, you have to go find who's on that card, and you have to use them. And we go, wait, no. This is Dr. Jones' patient. They want to see Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones doesn't want to lose this patient, this Medicare member. All you need to do is reschedule their appointment for sometime in February. Because why? Now it's OEP. They all get a one-time change. No doctor's office knows about OEP. And no doctor's office is non-compliant for teaching them about OEP. So when you walk in and you're like, hey, they all get a one-time change. If anyone's walking through your door that needs a change, anytime until March the 31st, send them our way. We'll make sure that they stay Dr. Jones' patient.
I love that. That's a good nugget, actually.
Honey,
that is a good nugget.
Yes.
One of the things that we tell the office managers is let's stop letting Joe Namath control your office. Do you know what I mean by that? Because the reason they got flipped was they called a number on TV and a celebrity told them to call a number. And so now we've let a stranger on TV, a celebrity of some kind, control the doctor's office.
That's so
and
true.
We need to, well, let's stop that. We'll get them back on the plan that they need.
And honestly, guys, I feel like clients, patients, they're married to their doctor. They'd rather switch their insurance plan than to have to change doctors. Because sometimes they've been seeing those doctors for years. They doctors know them inside and out. They know all the little stories and they know their history. So it's better to have them back on their plan where the doctor can see them again.
And when you add this kind of value, and this is a nugget alert. So when you walk in the door, I like to get to the person that you need. So sometimes it's not the person sitting behind the desk, because you're going to ask questions like, what are you contracted for? What do you like? What pays the bills here? What's great? And usually they'll tell you, I don't like that XYZ plan, but I like that ABC plan.
And you always ask, well, what's your biggest problem? Because if we can, we're going to solve their problem. It may be a connection we can make with contracting.
Sure.
I love that, because you're basically giving value to your lead source.
Yes.
Versus
absolutely.
me, work with me. Exactly. What are you doing for that?
You're right.
Company that you want to work with.
That's right. So here's the best line. How many patients can I send to you? How many? I write hundreds of Medicare plans. How many? They're looking for a new doctor. How far out are you on new patient paperwork and new patient appointments? Can I get a copy of that paperwork? Can you email it to me? Can I get a stack of your cards? I need them in my office. So
another thing that Christine says is she says, why don't you let me or us be your most valuable unpaid employee?
Ooh. Did you guys see that? Did you guys get that?
That's right.
I love it.
Yeah. Valuable employees.
Because we're going to keep your clients on your books, not have to send them down the road. Okay. So every time you see your referral center, you want to bring some value. You don't want to maybe, just give it all at one time. Just, I say vomit it up all at one time, because they can only retain so much. And they're busy. They only can give you 5 minutes. So maybe every time you go, you bring some type of value, and we do that. If we learn something in the industry that makes that doctor's job easier, makes them a hero, that's what we're going to share. We may not share all of that on this video.
No, we may not share all of that.
But so one of the things that I have done is, like, for example, I went to it's like an urgent care, but they also do primary care as well. And a lot of individuals go to that office. So I went in there, I would introduce myself, because they stopped taking the HMO plans, they start taking only PPO. So one of my clients called me and was like, they told me, they sent all their clients a letter and said, basically go somewhere else, because we're not taking your HMO. So he called and said, I need another doctor. They sent me this letter saying I have to, so I helped him find another doctor. But I was like, wait a minute, why are they sending you away when I can actually help you? Maybe you don't want to get on the PPO, but there's going to be some clients that's going to be like, I'd rather get on the PPO than to change my doctor, right?
It should be their choice.
Yeah, exactly. So I went to that doctor office, and then I'm trying to build a relationship with them as well. So far they sent me 2 referrals. So what I did is, before they got their card in the mail, I went to, I don't like to say insurance carriers' names on my channel, but say dog care, for example, right? So I enroll them in dog care, right? So that doctor takes dog care. So after I get them enrolled, after 3 business days, I look in my portal and I get their member ID name, the member number and all that stuff. And then I send that to the doctor. I take it to the doctor's office. Hey, I took care of Mrs. Jones. This is her member ID. And I also bring them treats, of course.
That's a great wraparound.
So that way when Miss Jones called, maybe Miss Jones haven't got her card yet, she could still set up that appointment because they have the information.
So now, Patricia, what you did is the average agent walks into a doctor's offices and throws down a dozen business cards and just kind of vomits all over them. Send me all of your clients. Send me all of your patients. Just send me, right? Okay. So that's what you can do for me. But what you did is what I'm doing for you. I'm trying to build your business and also help your clients. So that's the difference.
Yeah. So you definitely want to bring value back.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's why we call ourselves senior health advocates. So we're going to advocate for a senior. What does that look like? Well, first of all, if you're on the right plan, we're not going to write you on a different plan. If you're on a bad plan, we're going to put you on a better plan. If there's a government program that you can connect with that will make your plan better, we're going to do the application. We're going to do the follow-up. We're going to make sure that we dive deep. When we train new agents, we say, if you do not know how to run Medicaid in your state, you better learn, because I will come right behind you and I will meet your client. Gwen will meet your client and anybody in our office, and they'll go, oh, they didn't check that. And here we go, because now you get a $200 food card. And they're like, well, why didn't they give me a $200 food card? Yeah. They must have been lying to me. So you got to dig deep. Don't forget to do a lot of self-education so that you don't have to be the expert. Gwen always told us, you got to know this much more than the person you're sitting in front of to make you the expert. So don't freak out with, paralysis by analysis. Just be educated enough, dig in. So when new plans come out this fall, you want to be just tearing them apart. What is new? What is the disruption in the market? How do I get the, what do we say? Sell the sizzle. How do we sell the sizzle on the new plan? Because the way you get them to be your client is you say, well, you're on plan A, but if you go to plan B, then you're going to have this sizzle. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. You can come to our table with plan B and we'll tell you, oh, if you go to plan A, there's sizzle over here. So you educate that client and then they know. We always say this is more of an education than a sale. It's $0 for a lot of these clients. Our Medicare Advantage clients, very few of those plans have got a premium to them. So really it's just teaching them how to use the plan. What is the plan really going to do for you? This year for 2025, we feel like it's going to look very, very different.
Yeah,
so you're going to have a lot of disruption in the market, and our job is going to be educating. So get out in front of that. Get out in front of it. Go visit your, we even connected in with Chamber of Commerce. I just went to a chamber event and they want me to come speak to a whole group of healthcare professionals. And they're like, what are you going to talk about? I'm like, Inflation Reduction Act and how it's going to impact this entire community. They're like, oh, wow. So that's going to be a constant resource.
I love that. So you guys are literally in the community, just working in it. I love that. Okay, there's something that you said earlier, and I feel like this will help a lot of agents watching this video. Okay. One of the things you said is the mentorship and the guidance that you got from Gwen.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, let's talk about that, because I feel like a lot of agents are literally out here, they're lost. And I know this because I get the emails, I get the, direct messages. Like they have an upline, but they're lost.
Yes.
So tell us how that mentorship really helped you guys, because you guys are doing so well, like how you was able to really take what she did to just take it to the next level.
Yes. Well, I can tell you, I worked 2 years inside of a captive agency, and there was just the most basic training, and we had one product to sell. Then I went 2 years out on my own and literally almost threw in the towel. It was so hard. I had no mentor. I didn't even know what an area manager was. I put a contract here and a contract there, and this contract would give me a quoting engine, and this would give me some little something. There was no support at that big FMO level, that big IMO level, once they get your contract. So I struggled. I felt like, I'd be on the phone for 2 hours trying to solve a very simple question. So I would take one step forward and I'd take 3 back. And it was, for 2 years, it was a long struggle. I even started final expense during that time because I thought, well, maybe Medicare is just not going to make it. But my story is that my husband and I turned 50 and we bought a business that landed us in a 10-year lawsuit. And we almost lost everything, almost. We did prevail, but it took 10 years, and Medicare was born in the midst of that. And so 2 years of struggling, I walked into a young man's office, and he asked me to put my contracts under him, and I did, and he was my mentor for 4 years. But we kind of went as far as we could with him. It was a great fit for about 4 years. I learned a lot there. But, in life, you always sometimes need to make adjustments, and in business you can reach what I call the law of the lid, where you can't grow anymore in that situation, and that's where we were. And so family was joining me, and we needed to launch off, start something new. So we found a wonderful upline, and I would just tell you that mentorship in Medicare is very important, because this is hard to learn by itself, and you're going to, I called it a starvation period. I almost threw in the towel the first couple of years. So there's just so much dead time. You need somebody that can come along beside you and say, this is how you should be doing this is how you should be doing that. And a lot of times people don't want to take the time to invest in you. So we have a couple of different models that we work with in our office to mentor people. I think that's why our agency grew so fast when the family joined me, is that they were able to kind of stand on my shoulders of all of the struggle, that starvation period that I had already gone through. They didn't have to do that. And then bring in the medical, but everybody brings something to the table. Everybody brings either, they're invested in the community, or they have people in the medical field, or they're great salespeople, or they're great educators. Everybody brings something to the table. And so I would just encourage you to look for an upline that can mentor you and add value to you, because that will either make or break you. I love that.
Yeah, I would say that as well, that people made sure that we were successful when I had a question about Social Security, because Social Security shut down in 2020. So those doors were closed, and we had people turning 65 and coming off of group insurance. I didn't know what to do. I had no idea about Social Security. So, we had someone in our upline that I could instant message while I'm in the middle of an enrollment. So our downline agents, they are very much connected with us. They're in group chats with us. They're an instant message. They're like, hey, I have a question. I have, a client sitting right in front of me. Can you help? Yes, let me help you. So we match effort for effort here. We say, because you can spend a lot of time with downline agents and then they never get in front of clients. But if you are getting in front of clients, or you want to get in front of clients and you need to know how to do that, we're going to work with you. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to match effort for effort. So sometimes it's as simple as showing you how to set up a tabletop, to do an event, and the things that are going to trigger clients to come over to you. There's tricks to that we know. Would they work? And if you'll do them, it will work. I promise you. Don't reinvent the wheel. If somebody's done it and they're successful, you're going to have your own tweak to it. We get that. But don't reinvent the wheel. Don't make it harder than it has to be. It's hard enough already. There are certain things that just work. There's certain talking points. There's certain value adds that if you will do them, they will work. A lot of people are just not willing to buy into that, or they're afraid to talk to people. And that was one of the things too, that, Gwen's very different. She's, quiet, and I'm more outspoken and this and that.
She knows how to work around.
But the thing that we have is that we know that the information that we have is valuable to who we're talking to, whether or not that's a client or our upline or a broker manager, or, so you're like, what do you mean? What is valuable to a broker manager? Let me just tell you what broker managers don't want. They do not want you calling and saying, I need more money. I need an opportunity. I need.
And we're talking about insurance carriers when you're saying broker managers.
Broker managers. So
make sure
that's right. So if you have someone that will help you from every carrier that works for that carrier, and they're over your area, you are underneath them. So, when you start writing business, you should call your broker manager and say, sir, ma'am, I have an opportunity to go to this event or that event. What can you help me with? Do you have giveaways? Do you have flags? Do you have flyers, ideas, things like that? Because I have a lot of opportunities that I'm creating. And oh boy.
Yeah. Food markets.
Yes.
Bags.
Yes. What do you have that I can advertise for you? And what you'll find is that when you're not doing the ask, you're just doing the, hey, I have an opportunity and I need to do this. They'll be like, oh yeah, let me open the warehouse. Let me get you some toothbrushes. Let me get you some, I don't know, what are some of the chip clips? People love that stuff.
Yeah. Closet clutter.
That's what she calls it, closet clutter. So, those are things that you can do as well when you start writing some business. And I mean, start writing business. When I'm talking about start writing business, when you've written 2 plans, you call your broker manager. If it's with the same, company, call that broker manager. And I'm writing business for you. What can you do for me? Don't be afraid. Don't be like, I have to write 200 plans, to get some traction with a broker manager. Broker managers have a lot of agents under them. I talked to one of our broker managers for one of the big 3, around here. And I was like, how many agents are under you? He's like 2,400.
Wow.
But he could put in one hand how many write for him.
Wow.
Oh yeah. But the thing is, those that write for him get all the attention. And so when I'm teaching our downline agents, I'm like, listen, you write the business and then you call your broker manager and you're like, I am already making it happen. How can we take it to the next level? They will help you.
Wow.
And what
will.
gets their attention is knowing that you have events scheduled. So if you called them and said, I have 10 events, go check your notes, I've got them registered, that's going to get their attention.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the starving stage.
Oh,
Yes. Let's talk about
Well,
that.
you never starved.
So she said, how do you know? What you know about that?
Yeah, it is interesting though. The reason people get into Medicare is because of residual income, right? You do the same amount of work year to year and you get a 30 to 50% increase if you're writing that same amount of business. So with Gwen, she was like writing 200 plans during Roy. Roy is rest of year. Rest of year is outside of AEP. We write all year long. So, it takes a little while. If you're writing that much initial commission, you're probably not going to starve. But if you don't have a good upline and you're just getting started and there's no mentor around and you have this starvation because commissions are prorated. So that $300 and whatever it was, $311 is prorated. So if you write, in January, it's 25 less. February is 25 less. All of a sudden you're writing a plan in December for a December 1st start. If it's not initial commission for $25, you're going to starve doing that. So you're either going to need a part-time job or you're going to need a spouse or a family to support you.
You do need that.
Yeah, you're going to need somebody to support you until you can get enough residual income. But what is residual income? Anyone staying on your books, when that calendar turns to January 1, all those people are going to be renewal income for you. So if you have 100 and you have $25 per member, you got $2,500 going in your bank every month that they stay, and then you can start building. It's about a 3-year cycle before you get really good traction, but it's so worth it. So when Gwen brought me in, she had 1,000 clients. Somebody do the math on that. How much residual income?
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot. Can anybody here live on $25,000 a month? Yes. The answer is yes. Those are real numbers that Gwen was showing when we met. And I was like, what? You can make that kind of money?
You're like, and that's times 2 what we made.
Right, exactly. So I was like, what? That was just
times 2.5.
That was just renewal income. That's income that's coming to her bank account. These are the things they don't tell you. It comes to your bank account every month, whether or not you work. Okay, so some agents will just coast. They're like, "Ooh, I got renewal income." No, there's no coasting for us. We do not coast.
Yeah, I work all year long, but I've had young agents that, they get paid in January and they take off for the next 6 to 9 months.
Oh, wow.
And coast. And that's a hobby business. That's not a real business.
I love that. Yeah,
and,
that's true.
So you've got to be working all year long to have that pipeline full for October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's how you don't starve.
Yeah. So I always took, like when agents call me and they're like, oh, what should I do? Like, they're trying to transition to doing Medicare. Like I say a 1 year, like have at least a 1 year plan, but you guys are saying 3 years. You need to really know what you want to do. You want to make sure that you can pay your bills for at least 3 years.
Or have support.
Just have a solid
spouse
yes,
or something.
Yes.
Somebody that can pay the bills.
Now, we have people that we know that have done extreme, there's extreme Medicare, and the way we did it is not the way everybody does it. We're kind of very unique with the way we are very successful with community outreach and referrals, but we know of people that literally sold their car to buy leads and opened a call center, and now they are making multiple six figures, you know, doing that. So there's different ways to do it.
And here's another problem. Husband wants to be a Medicare agent, but his wife is a nurse. Nurse does very well. Husband doesn't feel the need to get out and work. You know, if it comes, it comes, but you know, just not taking it serious because there's always that security. And I mentioned, you know, that my husband and I were in a 10-year lawsuit. I was at a place we closed down, and it was 2008 and 9. We closed down 3 businesses, okay? And we were 50. So it was very hard to think about trying to reinvent yourself. Technology had come and passed us by. So for me, when this opportunity came across my path, and I felt like it was a divine moment, I told myself that when I saw the opportunity, I said, whatever it takes to learn this business, if they told me I had to stand on my head and write Medicare upside down, guess what I would learn to do? Stand on my head. Wow. Because I saw that much. There's just not opportunity out there like that. So I can just tell you, if there's not a huge why, that's why 92% of the people wash out of the business. Your why has to be so big that it consumes you and it causes you to get up every day and find the next thing. Because if not, it's just too easy to just relax and rest on, you know, the spouse is doing okay. I can do this if I want to. Well, Medicare is hard. It's easy once you learn it, but it's hard, and that's why we were talking about the other insurance lines. A lot of people cannot transition because it's just too hard to learn Medicare along with being really, really great at life insurance and really, really great at annuities and at P&C. All of those are consuming on their own. There's just not enough bandwidth for all of it.
Yeah.
So we recommend partnering with someone and coming up with a relationship with your P&C or your accountants or, you know, that type of thing. That might be easier for everyone.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about the struggle, because we talked about this a little bit off camera, the struggle of someone that sells life. They're tired of life, because life is a struggle. Like, it's like you're constantly going, right? Yes. If you're not writing a policy, you're not going to eat.
Yes, that's right. And so that's why we're in Medicare, right?
Yeah.
For that renewal income, the residual of doing the same amount of work, but having your bank account get bigger and bigger and bigger every year. That's what people see. They don't know how those Medicare agents got there, but they don't have that. So life insurance, annuities, those are big paychecks, okay? You're writing $500,000 policies, you're writing $50,000 annuities, you're making 8 to 10% on those, you are getting a big paycheck, right? That is not what we get in Medicare, okay? Our big paycheck comes with plotting. It's a plotting. You write the next plan, you write the next plan.
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady. You know, it's wealth that's gained at a very drip sort of rate, but yet all of a sudden you find yourself in a little pond, and then you find yourself in a big pond, and then you find yourself in a lake, and then you have seen these Medicare agents, they're in an ocean of income, right? So it builds very slow. So what happens though is, you know, I talked with a very successful life insurance and annuity business owner down in Tampa, and she's, you know, on the leaderboard and this, that, and the other. And I say to her, you do realize you're going to have to step back from your production to learn this. What am I telling her to do? You're going to starve while you learn Medicare, because you're not going to be able to write your life insurance. You're not going to be able to work leads and do things like that you normally do for your business.
Because not at the same level.
Not at the same level, because how hard is it to get started in this business? Once you know it, you can rock and roll, but learning Medicare without a one-on-one mentor can get very difficult. And then if you are depending on that to eat, or you have a lifestyle that, you know, requires your multiple six-figure income from your life insurance, you're not going to pull back on that to write Medicare. You just are absolutely not. You're going to go, what do you mean I get $150 for this policy? And it took me 2 hours to write my first policy, and what? I'm not going to do that.
Life insurance, I could have,
Yeah,
got 1,500, 2,000, whatever it is.
Exactly.
The first year of.
Yeah, for sure. So that's what makes it so difficult. So a lot of times they either need to hire an LOA, so a licensed only agent that writes for them. So it kind of like Gwen, that's how she got her start. She was sifting through a book of business to find Medicare in that book of business. So she was a licensed only captive agent for that company, and you can start that way. You can, if you're struggling and you're like, hey, I have a friend that works for, this financial services company or writes life insurance, whatever, you say, hey, let's partner up. I know the Medicare. You're sitting on a book of business. Why don't you let me sift through your book and see because it adds value to them and helps them stay sticky to both of those people, okay? Because neither one of you has time to do the other thing. So that's what I would say. That's what makes it hard.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to take too much of you guys' time. You guys have been so generous. If someone wanted to reach out to you guys and work with you guys, how can they reach you? I'm going to put all your information in the description of this video, but how can they reach you? What would be the best way to contact you?
So admin@seniorha.com. We are senior health advocates. Admin goes straight to Gwen's daughter, Kaylee, which is one of our owners. She lives in Kansas City, and she is going to be your first point of contact if you want to work with us. So admin@senior, H is in helicopter, A is in apple.
Okay.
That's how you can reach us, or you can call the office, 386-222-3030.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your program as far as like you LOA agents, right? And independent, right?
Yes. So we have a market retail office in our hometown, Lake City, Florida, that we get walk-in traffic. That's where we do most of our clients are face-to-face. We do some over the phone, and we go visit them if they need.
No, for agents. What's your program like for agents? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm getting And so we have agents that work in our office for us, and we have independents, Gwen and I and Colton and my daughter that work in here. But if you're independent, you're usually not going to work in our retail office. We're going to show you how we set it up. But you're going to work in your area, and we're going to show you whether or not you want to write at the library or you want to rent office space. We're going to teach you how to do that. So we have both licensed only agents in our office that write my business, Gwen's business, the business that walks through the door, referrals that they've asked for. Or you can be in our downline, and we're going to teach you how to be successful and build a legacy agency. That's what we have. You need, if you have the desire to build a legacy agency. What does that mean? That if something happens to Patricia, that your renewal income is going to keep going. If something happens to Christine, something happens to Gwen, you have got something in place to where that money, that generational wealth is going to flow to your family. We'll help you do that.
I love that.
We'll set that up for you.
And you're in Lake City, Florida.
We are in Lake City.
One more thing before we leave. Just give me one good nugget. One good nugget for, let's say, someone that wants to go independent and they're totally like brand new. Give me one good nugget for them.
Get with someone that'll be honest with you about where your contracts are. That is probably the most important. People we meet at conferences, people we meet online, they have gotten burned. They are stuck. Their contracts are stuck. Get with someone that is going to be honest with you about what your level is, whether you're a street level agent, whether you are a captive, whether or not you're going to have that renewal income. We have a friend, a mutual friend, Patricia and I, that we met and we know, and she wrote a ton of business, thought that was her book of business. She did not own that business. So get with somebody that's going to be honest with you. That is my nugget.
Alrighty, and it's time for us to end right now.
Yeah, the battery's dying.
All right, thank you guys for watching. Bye. Alrighty guys, we're going to do our office tour. Show me around, Christina.
All right, this is our office. Come on in. Welcome to Senior Health Advocates.
Okay.
We are a busy office right on Main Boulevard. You can probably hear the traffic out there. So in our office, we like to have not just Medicare information, but life insurance, dental insurance, so that they're thinking about it while they're waiting, and then they may ask about that.
I love that. This is like the sitting area?
Yes.
I love it.
Waiting area.
This
We usually
is
have
nice.
music going. Mints. Oh my goodness, this gets emptied once a day.
Oh, wow.
I love mints. Yes. Everybody's card is here. We have a red, white, and blue
Nice.
theme that we like.
I love it.
And then this is really
Say
important.
hello.
There's Gwen. This is really important. We put all of our community partners that we are developing their business and ours at the same time, so that if someone needs a dentist or they need hearing aids or they need a new doctor or whatever, then they can grab a card on their way out.
I love that.
And we get Medicare calendars for everyone.
Wow, that's
So
nice.
all of our clients get Medicare calendars.
Okay.
So we keep those in our office. So come on back.
Okay.
All right.
And then whose office is this? Or we're gonna?
Oh, that's Beth's office. She runs the ship around here. So that's our welcome to the Senior Health Advocates family sign.
Nice.
So sometimes we'll have clients that want their picture on Facebook. We will have them hold this after we write their plan.
Oh wow, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, and all the booklets and everything
Yes.
in here.
We are mostly face-to-face here, so we do a lot of plan material
Okay.
every year. So this will clean out soon, and we will have the new plans ready sometime in October.
Cool.
Can't share plan information till after October 1st. Maybe
Yep.
a mistake here.
That's funny.
So this is one of our offices. This is actually my daughter's office.
Oh, that's
And,
nice.
She has a lot of light and still has her pumpkins.
Oh, that's cute.
October. This office just got cleaned out because one of our LOA agents went independent, and we just launched her. So we just moved a new agent in here. But like we said, we're moving our office, so we're not going to decorate. We're just going to get through until we move. This is Gwen's office. Gwen, I'll let you step in there. Show you everything in her office.
Oh, this is real
Red, white,
nice.
and blue. Yes, some of her accolades, and our agency has won lots of awards. We even have a crown. Her crown's hiding under that paper.
Oh, I see it.
Gwen and I both won crowns and little scepters selling Medicare. Yep.
Nice.
Here's
Florida.
so I haven't got this hung yet, but I'll show it to you.
Okay.
Last year, I joined the Medicare Club,
Oh.
and the family gave me a birthday party, and I think they really just wanted to milk the Medicare opportunity. But we had about 100 guests, and we put up tents outside, and a lot of the guests signed my picture. We had a big Medicare cake. It was a lot
That's
of fun.
nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then we have a football star turned Medicare agent. This is Jacob's office.
Oh, wow.
So
This is nice.
yeah, it smells like man in here. It smells like Abercrombie and Fitch in here, really.
It does.
Yeah, so Jacob, he wrote, he'll be up to 41 plans he wrote in Roy,
Wow.
like June 2024, killing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
He does a lot of
He
turning
didn't have
60
time to
times.
clean his office this month.
He did not. We do not care.
He's been busy, right? Shoot.
That's right. That's right. So this is Colton's office. It's also where we have handicap access. So Colton's office goes in and out from being, we are so tight on space here that sometimes we'll put a new agent in here and he moves to the conference room.
Oh, okay.
So we'll show you the conference room in a minute.
Cool.
So we do lots and lots of meetings in here about how do you run an agency.
Okay.
What are the things we can do better? And then this is my office. And I still
Nice and comfy.
yes, but I never get to sit there. I always get to sit here. And we give them this interesting picture of Key West to look at, which everybody loves. I don't know why. One thing that we do here, though, is these large TVs. We try to do that at every desk so that our seniors can look and see what we're doing on the computer when we shop their medications, make sure that their information is spelled correctly, all their numbers are correct. it really helps us to make sure that all their information is correct.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll show you the
Love it.
conference room.
Yay.
Yes. All right, down the hall. Back to the lobby and to our conference room.
Wow, this is really nice.
So we do a lot of teaching in here. We have this great calendar that kind of shows us.
Anything personal in here or no?
No.
No? Okay.
No, nothing personal. We just kind of put on there when seminars are going to be held, when people are going on vacation. We have a baby coming. August the 26th. Baby's coming up August 26th. So, and then, you know, of course, we map out AEP. But we're starting right now, getting ready for AEP. It's going to be a banner year. So Colton had moved in here for a little while because we were overrun with agents. So we're going to do a shuffle once we buy our new building. Lunchroom area, down the hall. I was trying to find the remote for it because this is like a leaderboard that we do, especially during AEP. So Monday when everybody comes in, we'll have all the information on this TV about how many plans we wrote for the month and how many were up year to date. So
wow, nice.
Yeah, which is really nice. It's very motivating for everybody to like keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. So lots of
I love it.
Lots of good food going on right here.
Yay! Alrighty guys, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got a lot of nuggets out of this video. And if you want to go ahead and reach out to them, go right ahead. All of the information will be in the description of this video. They take licensed only agents and independent agents as well. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye! Ciao for now. Bye guys.
Talk to me.